Back with Shan Foster, who runs the Amend Together program with YWCA here in Nashville. It is a great program. It is an important cause. Hope you listen up throughout the course of this hour, because a lot of good advice, a lot of good resources that he's thrown out there already. And this weekend, an opportunity for kind of the public to rally around this cause. The Predators take on the St. Louis Blues at home, Bridgestone Arena, Sunday morning, 11:30 a.m., just after church. They hit the ice, drop the puck for that Central Division game. And you guys are involved. This is your day with the Predators, who've been an organization that have really sort of championed your cause for quite a little while now. Absolutely. We are so excited about this opportunity. We're bringing over 100 kids to Bridgestone Arena to be a part of this game. We have something spectacular, really planned for the fans as it relates to this kind of information and raising awareness. But I can't speak enough about the Preds organization and the All-State Foundation, who are sponsoring this event, and they're our partners and allies in this work. And it's so incredibly important to have our athletic community, and in a lot of respects, the leaders in our community, to really rally behind this cause and make it a big issue. Sean Henry brought us in to provide a training to every single employee of Bridgestone Arena and the Nashville Predators. Just again, speaking to the commitment from the organization. And as we embark on this game, it's an incredible opportunity for everyone, Smashville's entire fan base, to really get on board with not only the message, but the awareness of the issues. I talked about the statistics. 1 in 4 women experience domestic violence. 1 in 4 women are sexually assaulted. 1 in 6 women are raped. 1 in 5 girls are sexually assaulted on a college campus. These are real statistics, and these are real people, and it's important that we rally behind something like this that's all about prevention. At the YWCA, we take pride in providing domestic violence services. We're one of the leading agencies for providing those services for the state of Tennessee, and we'll continue to do that. But we're also committed to stopping this from happening in the first place, and that's what this game on Sunday is all about. And we would love for Smashville and the Preds fans to really join us in this effort to stand up and help us make Nashville the safest city in the world for women and girls. Yes, stand up and help stop it before it happens and becomes a problem, or a further problem in this case. And it's kind of a cool day on Sunday, because the NWHL, the National Women's Hockey League, is having their All-Star game right after the Predators and Blues. So some of the best female athletes in the world, a lot of the U.S. gold medal Olympians from last year, will be on the ice in that All-Star game. Just kind of adds to the day and the meaning of the day. Absolutely. And those women are phenomenal athletes, some of the best athletes in our country. And for them, they reached out and said that they wanted to be a part of this Amend Together Day as well. And so there's a PSA that they were able to do. We're excited about that, and being able to partner with them in this way. I think it's just a testament to how not only important the issue is, but that we as a country, as a community, are excited about an opportunity to prevent this from happening in the first place. And everyone is jumping on board. And so we invite the rest of you to jump on board as well. We need everyone. This is the reality of it, is that while we do have a lot of support, if you aren't involved yet, then we're missing you, and you may be very much so the tipping point for us to really change this in a mighty way in every community within Nashville. Got a phone call here, so let's go to line 1. Say hello to Ricky. Ricky, thanks for the call. You're on Sportsline here with Shan Foster.
Hello?
Yeah, Ricky, you're on the air.
Okay. Yeah, Sean, I believe I met you before. I don't know, maybe some years back. I was working at a car wash at ShipRite, and I believe you washed your car there. But I'm really interested in what you're speaking on, because me myself, as a young kid, I used to play ball when I was 12 years old, but I had a bad experience with a coach that I trusted in it. And I was molested by this coach. And for years, I wasn't able to speak about that. I hid that, and it took me away from basketball. I started drinking, man. I was angry. I hate to say it, even as I grew up later on, I was abusive to women. But it took me to read a book one day that someone explained to me my first teacher was a woman. My first nurse was a woman. You know, to change my behavior of being that way. So when I see what you're doing, it's a great thing. And I even went to churches and tried to meet with men, you know, because we want to hide these secrets of things that happened to us in the past. But what I learned, the more I spoke about it, the easier it got, you know, and started acknowledging the errors of my ways. I wanted to pass it off to someone else. But it was real difficult where people didn't want to hear what I was saying. They wanted to sweep it under the rug for whatever reason. So I'm glad and excited about what you're doing and getting your voice out. And, you know, so people can hear that these things do go on. And I appreciate you. Thank you.
Ricky, thanks for the call, and best of luck in your recovery from what you went through and in spreading your message as well. How many times do you hear stories like that?
Every day. Every single day. And it breaks my heart because I've seen so many people who, when they hear a story like that, what they hear is someone making an excuse for their behavior. And what he just shared with us was not an excuse for behavior. It was an acknowledgement of behavior, but it was also saying, this is what happened to me. And I think the underlying message is, for every boy in the city of Nashville, we got to prevent this from happening to other boys, and we got to prevent this from happening to girls. Because this is happening, whether we want to talk about it or not, this is a reality. And when we shut off people from being able to share their stories and to be able to talk about what has happened, then we disconnect from the source of what could possibly stop this from happening in the first place. So I'm just so appreciative for him for coming on air, to telling his story, to talking about this, because we got to be able to talk about this. The reality is, hurt people hurt other people. We know that violence is a learned behavior. So we have to go in and do the work of unlearning some of this behavior so that our community can be safe for not only women and girls, but for boys as well.
And sometimes it's a confused behavior of just not knowing where you stand in life and some of those things as well. I want to get back to the Predators because I know that organization in particular, a lot of sports figures. I know other coaches, Dana Ford, when he was at TSU, was very, very involved. Other coaches have been as well. The sports community seems to have really jumped behind this issue for you. How important has that been?
It's incredibly important because the sports community has a huge microphone. Every game day, you got thousands of fans that are there cheering on one team or another, and you have a captive audience. And what these sports teams are saying is, while I have your attention, I want to share with you something that's more important than basketball, that's more important than football, that's more important than hockey, and that is how we treat each other. If we can fix how we treat each other, then it helps everybody, right? If we can have healthier relationships, we can end the majority of violence that's happening. Because when I'm feeling some type of way, when I'm dealing with something, I'm comfortable coming to mom and dad and saying, this is what I'm dealing with. We've shut off communication, so that's not happening. We've left our kids out here to figure it out on their own. And I can't tell you how many kids across the country with tears in their eyes are holding tight to this thing called manhood, where they have to be men at all costs. They're in school and they're acting up and they're fighting all the time, not because they want to, but because they're trying to obtain this thing called manhood, right? They're abusive towards women and girls, not because they want to be abusive, but because they're trying to be men. I'm supposed to look at you and see pleasure. I'm supposed to run after women and girls. I'm supposed to date a lot of girls. That's how they've defined manhood. And so it's incredibly important for our sports teams, who are role models in many ways, to stop things and say, you know what, I know that that's what society has taught you, but it's wrong. Let me give you a different way of looking at things. And let me share with you how going along this path is not only harmful for you, but it's harmful for the people in your life that you love and care about. When we're able to open up that conversation and do it from the standpoint of these professional teams, I can't even explain to you the impact it has on our kids. We just had the Nashville Predators come over, 2 of their players today, to Madison Middle School. the impact that that had on 30 boys at Madison Middle School, to see these men who are role models in our community. Everybody's talking about how great the Preds are, how great Nashville is, and for them to come in and have a conversation about teen dating violence, something that guys typically don't talk about, it changes what is okay for them to have conversations about.
It makes it okay to have the conversation as the first step to solving this problem. We got to take a break. Back after this.